What if I told you that realistic noses and lips can be broken down into just two things, which are form and light? Once you understand those two concepts, drawing facial features becomes a lot less complicated. So today you're going to learn exactly how to shade realistic noses and lips step by step. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you should focus on is creating a smooth base layer. Think of it like building a house. Nobody starts decorating the walls before the foundation is ready. The exact same thing applies here. If your base layer is rough, patchy, or uneven, every highlight and texture you add later will become much harder to control. Apply the powder using a medium-sized dry brush and gradually build the values rather than trying to achieve the final darkness immediately. Once the tones are in place, blend everything using a clean tissue paper. This will help create the smooth skin texture that realistic facial features need. As you can see, one side of the face is receiving more light while the opposite side is turning away from it. This is something you'll notice in almost every portrait. Light is constantly describing the form. So instead of thinking that you're drawing a nose, try thinking that you're shading a small three-dimensional object attached to the face. One mistake many artists make is focusing on the highlight first. But surprisingly, the highlight is only doing half the work. The shadow beside it is equally important. In fact, a highlight often looks brighter simply because there is enough contrast around it. It's a bit like cleaning your drawing desk after 3 weeks and suddenly discovering the original color of the table underneath. The brightness was always there. You just needed contrast to notice it. All the reference images you need, including the grid and outline versions, are available on our Academy site to make your drawing process smoother and more structured. Now it's time to start building the highlights, and this is where many artists accidentally make the nose look flat. Instead of immediately reaching for a sharp eraser, start with a kneaded eraser. Gently dab it over the areas receiving the most light. The reason a kneaded eraser works so well here is because it creates very soft highlights that blend naturally into the surrounding skin. This makes it perfect for creating the rounded forms of the cheeks, bridge of the nose, and the softer reflective areas around the nostrils. Once those softer highlights are established, switch to a perfection eraser. This gives you much more control and allows you to create cleaner and brighter highlights along the edges of the nose. Notice how the highlight follows the curve of the form. If the form curves, the highlight should curve too. Think about it like wrapping a ribbon around a bottle. The reflection naturally follows the shape underneath. The same thing happens on skin. If you ignore the underlying form, even a perfectly bright highlight can make the nose look flat. Another thing that makes a huge difference is softening the surrounding edges. Real skin rarely has razor-sharp highlights everywhere. Most of the time, the light gently fades into the surrounding tones. So after placing a highlight, lightly blend and refine the edges instead of leaving a harsh boundary. Those soft transitions are what make skin look realistic instead of plastic. By the way, if you're a complete beginner and you keep throwing away your drawings because you feel like you just can't draw, it's not your fault. You just don't know the basics yet. And that's exactly why I made this full course, to help you go from shaky lines to realistic drawings step by step. It covers everything from basic lessons to advanced techniques, tips and tricks, all structured in a clear step-by-step format, so you don't have to guess your way through it. Thousands of students are already learning and growing through the course, and I put my course on sale for 5 days every month just for my YouTube family. Check the link in the description or comments to see if the sale is live right now, and get enrolled before it ends. Now watch what happens when you start building brightness along the side of the nose. The highlight immediately starts separating itself from the surrounding shadows and the structure becomes much more obvious. Suddenly the nose begins looking round instead of flat. But here's the important part. Rarely leave an electric eraser highlight untouched. After creating the bright stroke, go around the edges using a mono zero eraser. This softens the transition and helps the highlight blend naturally into the surrounding skin. Otherwise, it can look like a bright scratch sitting on top of the drawing rather than a realistic reflection. The same technique works beautifully around the nostril as well. A small, bright stroke placed along the edge of the nostril can instantly make it look more rounded and realistic. It's a tiny detail, but it helps describe the form of the nose and makes the whole feature feel much more three-dimensional. If you want to watch the full step-by-step tutorial of this drawing, you can access it on our Academy site. Link is in the description. Now let's focus on another important detail that artists often miss. The nose isn't created by outlines, it's created by transitions. The gradual movement from shadow to midtone to highlight is what gives the nose its shape. If you rely too much on outlines, the feature starts looking flat and cartoonish. But when you focus on values instead, the form starts building itself naturally. You can then use a B pencil to strengthen some of the nearby shadows. This extra contrast makes the highlight appear even brighter without actually lifting more graphite. It's one of those little tricks that makes a huge difference in portrait drawing. As you continue refining the nose, keep asking yourself one question: where is the light coming from? That single question solves most drawing problems. If the light is coming from the left, then the left side should generally receive stronger highlights, while the opposite side stays softer. Once you start thinking this way, drawing facial features becomes much less confusing, because every decision starts making logical sense. Now let's move on to the lips. And honestly, lips are one of the most misunderstood facial features. Many artists either make them completely smooth or fill them with repetitive texture lines. Unfortunately, both approaches can make them look unnatural. The first thing you should do is grab a B pencil and start building the darker texture lines. Notice that these lines aren't random. They follow the natural curve of the lips, just like wood grain follows the shape of a piece of wood. Always keep in mind that if the form curves, the texture curves with it. That's why randomly placed lines often make lips look unnatural, even when the shading is correct. For the bottom lip, use an 8B pencil to achieve darker textural strokes. Nature is not a copy and paste machine. Some texture lines should be longer, some shorter, some darker, and some barely visible. That variation is exactly what creates realism. If every line looks identical, the lips quickly start looking artificial. Once the texture lines are in place, you can also lightly shade the lips using the side of an 8B pencil to give them more roundness and volume. Whenever deeper shadows are needed around the corners of the mouth or between the lips, switch to a B pencil. These darker values help separate the forms and give the lips more depth and structure. Now once the texture is established, it's time to build the highlights. Start with a kneaded eraser and gently dab the top edge of the lip, which is receiving the most light. This creates a soft, reflective edge without making it look extra bright. As this highlights becomes a bit more defined as we move towards the right side, so to achieve such an effect, you can use a perfection eraser and extend the edge highlight towards the cupid bow portion. These subtle connecting highlights play a big role in making the lips look soft, rounded, and realistic. Okay, so now begin adding brighter highlights between the darker texture lines. Notice that the highlights are not sitting directly on top of every dark groove. Instead, they are mainly placed on the raised portions of the lips that naturally catch the light. This is what gives the lips their glossy and three-dimensional appearance. Think about your own lips for a moment. The entire surface is not reflecting light equally. Some raised portions catch the light and appear brighter, while the deeper grooves stay darker. The same thing should happen in your drawing. If you place highlights everywhere, the texture starts disappearing and the lips lose their natural form. For the brightest reflections, especially along the lower lip, switch to a mono zero eraser. Its sharp tip allows you to create those tiny, crisp highlights that make the lips appear moist and realistic. One thing many artists overlook is the importance of contrast here. Sometimes the highlight itself isn't the problem. The surrounding area simply isn't dark enough. So don't be afraid to go back with a B pencil or even an 8B pencil and reinforce some of the deeper shadows. Very often that extra contrast is what makes the highlights suddenly come alive. If any of the highlights start looking too strong, lightly tone them down using a dry brush or a B pencil with very soft pressure. This helps everything blend together naturally and prevents the lips from looking overly shiny. And with that, this section is complete. Always remember that whether you are drawing noses, lips, eyes, ears, or even entire portraits, the principle never changes. Build the form first, understand where the light is coming from, and let the details follow naturally. Once you start thinking this way, drawing realistic facial features becomes much easier. Also, if you are an absolute beginner and want to learn drawing from scratch, you can join our drawing course on AHR Studios Academy. It is now trusted by 20,000 students across 165 countries. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.